period up to March 2017, £340.74. Of the expenditure for the period 2016 to December 2016, £161.23. And the year on account 2609 up to December 2016. All of those appear to be in line. I mean, the decision power one is an interesting one because David McMillan's out in the country at the moment and will be till the end of March. But he has got somebody else who is helping him update the website. So I'm hoping that when we do the updates, it will be unaffected by Dave's extended holiday. So we'll hope that that's okay. But that's all the payments.
Propose we pay.
Second. All those in favour? Thank you.
Now, you've got a budget in front of you as well. I've just confirmed the budget, which obviously seems to be running pretty okay, as we agreed. I've also confirmed the precept level that we agreed at the December meeting. That's been confirmed to Sedgemoor District Council, and that's been confirmed by them. And also, I've made an application for a grant and Knuckle Trust for the painting of the play equipment, or contribution to it. They are quite hopeful we'll get a grant from them. And they're discussing it at the end of January. So by the end of January we should know whether we've been successful.
We put in for £1,000.
We did, yeah. And I sent them the relevant thing from Andy Selway, the actual quotation.
Because at the end of the day we could take the opportunity to paint some of the trim trail different colours.
Yeah, I think I was going to bring that up because we have the quote and our client's got the quote, and I think, if I'm right, it was £850. Well, it doesn't really matter, but that didn't include the staining or painting or whatever you like to do on the trims trial, so that would be an extra.
Yeah, but if we have £1,000
that's fine.
plus our contribution, we can actually got
No,
more.
it's fine.
We
ought really, therefore, when Andy Selway is becoming engaged, we need to get a quote for what he is going to do with the trim trial.
Additional work.
You're exactly right, John. It is exactly £850.
Yeah.
Right. So that's all the finance issues.
Brian?
Sorry, would you mind just talking us briefly through village costs, general maintenance, showing £2,000 budget, 20,000 forecast, and because it has a knock-on effect with the totals?
Well, it does, because as you know, a lot of maintenance charges cost this year were very high because of the obviously we purchased the mugger.
Yeah.
I can send you a breakdown if you want to see the breakdown.
I just wanted
but the forecast is higher because, of course, we were expecting to be paying something towards the Crooked Lane project, which is short £2,000. So that's why it's forecasted quite a bit higher, because we expect another £2,000 at least within this financial year. Although effectively that might come out of next year's, because it's not done by the end of March. It'll be out of next year's rather than this year's.
Are we, for the future, going to take general maintenance, play equipment as a separate item?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, from now on in, play equipment will be a completely separate item, whatever is included within it.
And if there is no further issues on that, it brings us on nicely for Colin to give us any updates on Crooked Lane, please.
Thanks, Mr. Dodd. There are no updates because the condition of the Crooked Lane and Broad Brent just won't allow any work to be carried out on this at the moment because of the wetness. So we've got to wait for the ground to dry out.
Just remind me that, have we got a cut-off period for that grant to be spent?
Yeah, end of June.
So we should, in theory, get better weather.
Yes, I'm monitoring it, and I'll have to speak to Gary Pope.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, we did actually discuss it at the last meeting. Colin brought it up that there was to be the reinstatement of the sleepers in Crooked Lane,
Right.
which are lying in my field. I've already spoken to David about it. David is well aware that he's got to do it, and quite frankly, well, it's really a question of David and Colin, and they will get on and do it at a time suitable.
Yeah, I've spoken to David.
Oh, good, that's all.
We know what we've got to do. It's just
When he is not sick.
When he gets out of bed.
Yeah.
We've talked about affordable housing, and indeed we're going to discuss it. Do we need as a council to have a unified approach on affordable housing? When I say unified, that's not strictly true. Do we have to have a unanimous decision, or do we have a majority decision in support of affordable housing, or are we all content that as a council we are supporting affordable housing?
Well, we've gone down the process of asking...
We're exploring, yeah, but we've never got to the point, Colin, with respect of saying they are investigating, they've done all the research, blah, 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 identifying needs, etc., etc. As a council, are we 100%, as a council, not as individuals, as a council, are we 100% supporting affordable housing? Which I believe we are, but...
Yeah, I would say we are.
Yeah.
And it has to
Whereas
whether we're going to
community
achieve
need-
it or not, that's our aim.
I just wanted to... Yeah. Okay,
Sure,
that's fine. That's fine.
Depends on the development, doesn't it?
But that's planned.
well, I think,
Are you just
correct me if I'm wrong, are you referring to the principle
Absolutely.
affordable
As a
housing,
principle,
as opposed to
we
the
are supporting
development?
affordable housing.
Mm.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you, Colin.
Good.
Mendip Community Transport.
Well, of course, they wrote to us last time, and I think they asked us for a grant, which I said, and I went back to them, of course, and I sent an email saying that I got back to them, asked them for information about how much benefit we in the village would get from, and of course they came back and said, well, actually the Slinky, which is their particular area, has been used by quite a number of people in the village, and I think quoted something like about 30 odd occasions apparently. So therefore they were justifying their request for a grant from us because 30 odd occasions in Brent Knoll it's been requested to be used.
But how many of those visits were for businesses? Because there are a lot of them taken
Inside.
back and forth from the nursing home.
Yeah, they didn't say. They just said
Yes,
on 30 occasions.
And we'll respond from the
That's really all that was meant to do, is just so that they justified their request for a grant, in other words. That's what they're saying.
Should we be taking a view on seeking alternatives to provide the village in the light that we're not going to have any buses or any public transport, or is it too early to do that? Should we take a lead on it as a parish council?
What are we going to take a lead on now?
Well, identifying potential mechanisms and making sure that people are aware. Clearly it would need some sort of coordination and all that goes with it, but I'm just wondering whether we need to take a lead on it at this stage.
Well, some villages have an organisation, not suggesting we do it, but some villages have an organisation of volunteer drivers who use their car and they're registered, and someone's got to organise it obviously, but it takes people to and from hospital. And I actually know somebody in this village who does it, not on behalf of the village, but he does it because he's a member of the Catholic Church in Western-super-Mare.
Peter?
I think you as the chairman should write a little piece for the BKN seeking the views of the village as to whether there's a need for the council to get involved with extra transport. For people
Well, I was
to
also conscious, Peter, which is a good point. Do we, and I know it's going off topic just slightly, but as councillors, do we, hand on heart, know what our parishioners really want?
I know.
And should we be seeking what they want?
I suggest that the chairman should write a piece in BKN.
That's
and
what I
ask the
thought.
village.
Because one of the thoughts I had is I happened to be talking to one of our neighbours, and she was ranting on about 3 issues. One was public transport, one was broadband, and the other one was, I can't remember now, but anyway. It wasn't dog, no, because she's got dogs. And she religiously carries a bag with dog poo in it. Whether it's her own dogs, I don't know.
So I collect it.
I was just mindful whether we could actually seek some form of, we get some forms made out for the annual meeting where people could just say, please record the 3 topics you would like your parish council to consider. Ignoring
I
a
think
thought.
that's all very well, but you only get 20, 30 people.
I think we might have more if it was like affordable housing.
True.
Possibly, I don't know, Brian, but
Yeah.
so I'm happy to put something in BKM. And I'm,
My,
Won't lose anything from that, will you?
yeah, my feeling is, just for the meeting, if you're going to step outside the box and organise, say, lifts to hospital for
Yeah.
people, you will need a coordinator, you will need a list of drivers, you'll need to ensure insurance is properly monitored, you'll have to ensure that the coordinator, it's their job to take calls by a certain time each day, report to the drivers what they did. It's a major operation, and unless you've got that someone, and I'm not necessarily sure it will be any of us because of the things that we do, it won't work. You'll be.
I have spoken to Kim in the past about it, and she's quite keen that she would like to be involved if we had a group to talk about it. So whether she might be a catalyst, I don't know.
Yeah, but there's no need talking about it.
No, we need to do something.
There's no need in it. We need to find out if there's a need of it.
Well, if the need is there and the parish want it, the parish then ought to sort the need out and start to staff it.
Because we are representing them rather than what we think.
Exactly.
Okay, that was just a
You
thought.
could set a ball rolling.
Yeah.
Not
Yes,
getting involved.
hard.
Okay, I will try and think of something to write for Bob to print.
Hmm.
Okay.
Voice slot this month.
Sorry? Well, yours is always amusing.
That's it.
My wife thinks it's wonderful.
Goodness me.
East Ride matters to consider.
East Ride, so Bob raised actually, I think it's been an issue in East Ride.
Yeah, I was contacted by a couple of residents in East Ride. As you get to the end of East Ride, the road comes to a stop at the ring, and in front of that there is a little white fence, or at least there used to be. It's now fallen down in various places. So
It's not my
I had a word with County Highways, because I thought it might be the County Highways fence, because it's on the East Ride side. They say it's nothing to do with them, and felt it was probably something that the parish council or the developers may have put up when it was originally done.
I think you'll find, Bob, actually, because it adjoins our property. I mean, there is that ransom strip there, clearly, and that fence is probably 30, 40 years old and was put up by the developer at the time. And I wish the people on the right-hand side would not throw all their bloody stuff into the green. Which they do.
East Ride, is it off?
Off Manor.
It's butting onto my orchard.
Is it a big piece of fencing?
No. It's basically, there are a series of small white posts with
About 4 by 2.
a thin rail that goes across, but it's rotted, and it just needs.
Can we not get this replaced?
Well, it seems to me it's another, if his name is Ian, to have a look at it and give us a price.
Yeah.
Please. Okay. Annual speak.
Just wanted to clarify, because obviously at this stage of the year, it's a good idea to start thinking about speakers. Now, we were thinking about perhaps getting Wessex Water to come back, and because obviously they've now gone quite a long way down their process, so we thought that possibly might be a good idea. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do about the affordable housing teams. There was some suggestion that they might come along as well at that point.
One possibility it might work with affordable housing, depending on the timing, is they're coming to see us obviously at the beginning of
So we can
February to give us an update.
Yeah.
They'll then want to have a public session like they did before. If they were able to get that organised in February, they might be able to get the results of that to come back. That might be available to the annual parish meeting to then say this is what we've actually been able to do, rather than another consultation which will then delay it a couple of extra months.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, Bob, and also it would be put another face, an authoritative face before everybody, rather than the parish council, and they would see that, like these developers down the end, they're trying to do a good job for us. Yeah.
I guess what you'll probably need to guard against, of course, is that inevitably the fox and goose issue might arise during that. If they were presenting on affordable housing, you can see a situation where it's going to get confused with the fox and goose, and I think it'll need quite a controlled, channeling of the conversation, frankly.
There's your channeler.
But also, Chairman, I mean, as I think it was John who mentioned earlier, when they were talking about timescales for the presentation that we had the other day, they were saying we could even have a planning application that would have been submitted
Yeah.
before the annual parish meeting, so that one will be following a different route potentially by then.
Yeah.
Millennium Oak plaque is...
Well, you've seen my...
Oh, sorry. Right.
It's two ends in Millennium, by the way.
Two what?
Two ends.
Two ends.
This is...
Oh, and as a backstop, there's always Simon Lewis and his process that's still going on.
Right, okay.
And I think,
Yeah, okay.
you know,
So you can come on that
he
basis.
needs to be, yeah.
Encouraged or discouraged?
I'll pass on.
Millennium
So there you
Oak.
go. You saw my email I sent out. Obviously, I had a quote from Ian Signs.
Yeah.
£40
Yeah.
to do that sign. I did approach 2 or 3 other companies. They seemed to be distinctly unhelpful. I didn't really get anything from 2 of them. And the other one was some silly figure of about £300 or something. So,
Millennium were very good. They worked extremely well.
so
By
Aaron-
experience.
So,
I thought 40 seemed very good, so I
Yeah.
proposed that we go ahead and do
go ahead and do it.
it.
Okay.
I've got a vested interest.
Have you?
There's a names on
Right.
that.
Malcolm, anything? Agenda items for next meeting?
No.
Or matters of report, rather, sorry. Matters of report.
Just one thing, the police, is she called the police commissioner?
Yes.
She said, you mentioned it earlier on about,
Maker.
and she was talking about we can get grants. Would those sort of grants cover, say, work on the village green? Do you think? Or is that stretching it?
No, it's something to do with the police, isn't it?
Well, no, it's to do with improving the village generally. It was very sort of wide.
I thought it was vigilante groups.
So what do you, what's the, what?
Well, I just wondered. if
Was
it-
asked a question perhaps?
Yeah, I just wondered what it
There's
was.
a thing in that pink
Yeah.
folder. Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing I'm thinking of is speeding has reared its head again.
Yes.
I'm conscious that we need to just vote on this, please. Richard has asked for 2 replacement batteries. Can we have your authority to spend whatever it was it 20?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm conscious also that Richard seems we have difficulties in getting the information out of that box for whatever reason. I know you were going to facilitate that.
And then it sort of petered out.
Would you be kind enough just to reapproach it? Because I think we are missing a trick.
Right.
Peter?
Brian's just mentioned the police commissioner
Yes.
handing out money. Couldn't they hand out money for batteries for the speed sensors?
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Why not?
So we could ask the question.
Okay.
Okay, John?
Very small point, actually, Cynthia and I have looked, when the mugger was put up, we'll have the chain link fence along the path by the village hall and the return fence going at the back of the toilet block. There is a very small gap, about that size. Everybody is using it as a short cut to go onto the green, and it's looking a mess. And I think it is for consideration. We thought about it at the time, so tonight, but it was for consideration that perhaps we ought to do something about linking up the fences, tidying up the area.
Well, again, if we got Ian coming to look at the fencing over there, it can be part of that.
It's that much.
Yeah.
But it's being used by little ones
Colin?
and big ones.
No,
too.
thank you.
Thank you.
I should have mentioned this earlier, but I did send an email to Owen about the new path, which is extremely slippery and frosty. Now, and actually, John Hughes fell down and really bruised his leg and everything else before Christmas. And then another lady I was speaking to, and she said she doesn't walk; she walks on the road now because it's so. But it's because it's smooth. You see, it's new.
Who reinstated it?
Sorry.
Who did the work?
It's
It
highways.
was highways.
Yeah,
Well,
I know
Saskia.
they've done it and you can't undo it, but what I'm saying is it is lethal. And there are a lot of elderly people who don't realise
Should we
it doesn't
can we
last.
raise that with highways, please? Because
Yeah.
and say it's a slip resistant issue. Right. Paul?
Thank you.
Thank you. And with that, we'll see you in
3 weeks' time. 3 weeks' time.
God, doesn't time fly first. We're working on 3 weeks.
First.
Yeah, first.
3 weeks.
2:30 in the
Oh,
afternoon.
we'll be talking about, we need a finance meeting on that day.